Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, who very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim out here pushing this gospel in truth and in sincerity to the best of their ability, given to them by Yahweh Shemel Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh Shemel Shai, Lord willing, fall upon 8 houses. This is Brother Quanah Watt from the Arizona Great Millstone Camp. Come back at you, Lord will, with the edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Lord will, it is edifying. Lord will, it is straight to the point. You know, when I was just meditating, you know, as I was driving, I was meditating on, you know, just how, you know, Jake and their kids be, man. You know, I just, you know, ultimately did a lesson with the brother Yuana, man. And, you know, I'm about to, you know, head back to the crib, man, to be able to post it, you know, to both our channels, man. And, you know, there was a statement that I said, you know, really a testimony, right, of, you know, me being at a laundromat, man, you know, ultimately, seeing these ladies, you know, kids and how they act and stuff like that, man. And, you know, those kids were ultimately rowdy, you know what I mean? And you know, I was just meditating on the fact that, you know, all this really goes back to the parents, man. You know, and I had recently, I want to say maybe a couple of weeks ago, you know, I had done a lesson, right, on chastising your children, you know, but it, you know, being, you know, a true parent according to the scriptures, right, it goes deeper, right, than just chastisement. Which chastisement, right, and punishment and, you know, putting the rod to your child, right, is ultimately, again, scriptural, right, and that's what we're supposed to do, right. But you know, as far as, you know, guiding our children in the way that they're supposed to go up, you know, is again, it's more than just, you know, you beating their ass when, you know, they go off, man, right. It ultimately has to do with, you know, your attitude that you show towards them, right? The attitude that you have, you know, on a daily basis, right? Because our kids, right, they watch us, man, you know, and we are to be their example, right, on how to be, right, according to the scriptures, man, you know. So I got this right here. This is Proverbs 22:6. It says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. That's right, right? So we're supposed to teach our children the scriptures, man, you know. And not only teach our children the scriptures, but also to live the scriptures, man, as best as possible, right? Being those examples unto our children, man, right? So that way, when they grow up, right, not only are they just learning about the scriptures, right, they have an example to follow, you know, just as we have an example, right, you know, of you know, our apostles, man, right? Because our apostles, right, they don't just speak it, right? Scriptures say to be not only a hearer, you know, but a doer as well, right? Roughly paraphrasing, you know, what is that? James, the 1st chapter, right? So we're supposed to, again, be hearing it, right? But we're supposed to be applying it, you know, so that way we're examples to others, man, you know, and for those that have kids, right? Your kids first and foremost, you know, because those, you know, the Jake in the world, right? They can sit here and try to teach their kids the scriptures, you know, bring your kid to church, this and the third, but their child never ends up doing the things that they're supposed to do, right? They end up following after wickedness and evil, you know, and doing, and you know, it starts with you parents, man, you know, because how you're gonna act, your children's gonna act, man, you know. Matter of fact, let's grab this in Ezekiel, you know, let's for Slakim. Driving, so, you know, just pulling them out, man. This is Ezekiel chapter 16 and verse 44, right? It says, behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter, right, man? You know, so just dealing with it, you know, on a literal level, right? Your children, right, are ultimately going to mirror you, right? So how you act and how you ultimately present yourself out in the world, right? Your children are going to basically mirror that, man, you know. And just dealing with, you know, like, you know, emotions and, you know, ultimately, again, you know, how you act and how you show forth attitude in the world, right? And again, your child is going to mirror that, right? So if you have an attitude, right, all the time, man, you have a nasty attitude, you know, you're rude, you're disrespectful, and your children are going to follow that, man, right? They're going to mirror that and ultimately, you know, show forth that same attitude, right, out in the world, right? Because again, when you have a child, right, you're supposed to ultimately guide your child in the right way, so that way, if you're ultimately acting right, your child is going to act right and basically be a mirror of you in the world, right? I think that's in matter of fact, let me grab that as well, and I don't want to grab too many. I just want to make this point, right, how important it is to guide your children right, which again starts with you ultimately living right, learning, growing right, and applying those things that you learned, right, so that way you can be walking on that right path. I'll start at verse 1, right, because this applies, right, to all children, right, boys and girls, right? It says Sirach 30:1, he that loveth his son causeth him oft to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end, right? Because again, your children are going to be acting right? You discipline them, right? Put them in place when they ultimately go off, man, because the scriptures say that foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, man, right? So your kids are going to all go off, man, right? Your kids are going to act a fool, man, and you got to discipline them, So, me ultimately, talking about how, to have a right attitude, right? Don't be getting angry all the time, at your children and what they do, right? Knowing that they're going to go off, right? Let me grab this. I think it's in Proverbs. Which Proverbs, right? Ecclesiastes and Ecclesiasticus, right, are books of wisdom, man, right? They teach you how to deal, right, with yourself, right? How to act out in the world, how to present yourself and how to walk, just as a human being, man, really an Israelite, because the scriptures are given to the Israelites, man, on how they're supposed to be, right? How we are to walk righteously, talks about being soon angry, Proverbs, Salaki, I'm trying to find it right here, Proverbs 16. I'll read Proverbs 15 and 18. It says, a wrathful man stirreth up strife, but he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife, right? Is slow to anger, right? Slow to anger, man, right? Meaning you're going to avoid these problems, man, right? Proverbs 16:32, it says, he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh the city, right? So again, it's a very powerful thing, right? To be able to control your anger, right? Because again, you'll be able to truly be able to think about the issue at hand rather than just getting angry, right? You'll be able to judge better, right? You'll be able to make better decisions, especially when it comes to your kids, man. Your kids will see that, man, right? You don't want your kid to be out here, at the smallest thing getting angry, man, right? Our kids, again, they soak up everything, right? So we gotta walk, according to the scriptures ourselves, man, right? Again, just dealing with, our emotions and getting angry, right? That's something that we gotta be able to have control over, man, right? And that's not just dealing with our kids, that's dealing with, in this walk, right? Everyday life, man. You getting angry and acting out, is not going to, help you make, the wisest decisions, man, right? If anything, you're gonna make, the most irrational decisions when you're angry, man, and we don't want our kids to be doing that, man, because they'll end up getting themselves in trouble, So let's go back, right, to Sirach and continue on in verse 2. It says, he that chasteneth his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintances, or among his acquaintance, right? It says, he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends shall he rejoice of him, right, man? You're going to be proud of your child, right? When they ultimately do what is right? It says, verse 4, here's the point I wanted to make, right? Though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead, for he hath left one behind him that is like himself. That's right. Again, because again, our children, right? We are their role models, you know? They're the first people that they ultimately learn from, right? We're their first teachers, you know, when they come into this world, right? From birth, you know, until, you know, they're able to make their own decisions, you know? We are their first teachers, man. So again, they're gonna, you know, they have to learn from, you know, those that, you know, the correct teachers, man. And we are supposed to, again, be teaching ourselves, right? And walking this walk and not just talking this talk, man. You know? That's how it's supposed to be, man. You know? So again, the scriptures tell you to train up a child, right, in the way that they should go, right? And yes, you apply discipline, right, to your child. But again, you know, all that, you know, starts with ourselves first, man. Right? We have to be able to discipline ourselves before we can discipline our children properly. You know? You know, we have to grow in this thing, man. Again, right? Within this truth, right? Growing and teaching ourselves to be able, you know, as far as men, be able to break down the scriptures and be able to raise up other teachers, as the scriptures talk about, right? But it goes deeper than that, right? We have to be living this life. We're like living the scriptures, right? All the way around, man. You know, all the way around. You know, but I just wanted to, you know, that ultimately hopped on my spirit, man. I just wanted to make that point, man. You know, about, you know, being, you know, better parents. You know, because again, first and foremost, you know, to be able to teach our children right, we have to be studying. We have to be willing to grow, right? We have to be willing to discipline ourselves, man. You know, but again, you know, Lord will, that was edifying. Lord will is building through the spirit, man. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rachak, Badash, double honors to the elder apostles, elder bishops, great millstone. Until next time, I say shalom.